Welcome to Chisholm Trail 61. Today we're going to do us a blueberry buckle, just like what I'm showing you here now. Hey, and I'm going to show you how I do that coming up right now. Okay, first thing you're going to need for your blueberry buckle, in the bowl here I got 1/2 a cup of all-purpose flour. To that I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm just pour that in. I'm going to take a whisk and I'm just going to sort of whisk that together real good there. Just get it mixed up good. You want your oven preheated to 375 degrees. Go ahead and turn it on because this recipe is going to come together really quick. It's a really quick, simple recipe. Once you get that whisked together good, here I have 2 tablespoons of really soft butter I'm going to put in here. And using this fork, I'm just going to mix this together. But first I'm going to put me 1/4 cup of light brown sugar in there, and that's packed brown sugar. And I'm going to set all this out of the way before I start mixing that. You can take your fork or you can use your hands, whichever you want to. And I'm just going to sort of cover my butter with in this mixture here so that it doesn't stick to my fork too bad. And what we're going to do, we're just going to sort of cut this in here. Now, I guess you could use a food processor, and I could have used my food processor if I wanted to, but it's going to come together so quick to really it's not worth messing up a food processor for. Just want to cut it in until it gets crumbly like. Which, back before the Depression, I guess, people was making the buckle. And it gets its name because of the way the topping crumbles up on it, raises up on it. That looks like that's cut in pretty good. And the way you're going to test it, you're going to get you a handful of it, squeeze it together, and if it stays in a clump like that, then you know it's ready to go. So you can see what it looks like, how crumbly it is. We're just going to set this over here in the refrigerator for a minute while we do this other. All right. Next thing we got here, we got 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour here. And to that, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And we're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. Just for a little contrast there. Whenever you're baking something and it's sort of sweet, if you put a little bit of salt in it, it'll really bring out that sweetness. We're just going to give that a mix up. Just to get it combined good. All we're going to do, we're just going to set this aside here. And we're going to bring over our stand mixer. Now, you don't have to use a stand mixer if you don't want to. I'm going to run and get my paddle attachment. I got the wrong attachment on it. I'm going to change my attachment and I'll be right back. Okay, now that we got our paddle attachment on there, what we got here is 1 stick of butter. That's 1/2 cup butter. We're going to drop down in our stand mixer there. And we're going to just drop it down. And to that, we're going to add 1 cup of granulated sugar. I'm just going to pour it around, start around on there. And we're going to start it on low speed here. And what we want to do, we just want to sort of get that cream together there. It'll take just a minute or so to get it creamed together. Get it where it won't make no cloud of sugar there. We don't want a big cloud of sugar. All right. We got that. We're going to just rake that back down there in the bowl. Be sure we get it all in the middle there. Rake off my. Now you don't have to use a stand mixer for this if you don't want to, or you don't have a stand mixer. You can use just a regular mixer, you know, if you want to. What I have here, I have the zest off of 1 lemon. It's about 2 teaspoons of a zest, what it is. I'm going to drop it in there. And I'm just going to sort of let that go just for a second or two there. We're going to let that mix there. And I got 2 eggs here. I'm going to get me a little bowl here or something. I can put them in because I don't want them to, I don't want any shells in my crumble. So while that's running, I'm going to bust one. Then I'm going to bust up. And then we're going to take and add this one at a time. We're going to add 1 egg. We're going to let it mix in good. Let it mix up just for a second there. Get it incorporated. And then we're going to stir it. You know, scrape our bowl down. Make sure we get everything combined good. You always want to scrape it after your first egg if you're adding eggs, you know, multiple eggs. Because even though it may look like it's mixing good, you get down there on the bottom, there's going to be some that's not going to be mixed in good. So you want to scrape it and get all the way down on the bottom and get it mixed up there good. Because I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's some of that butter, that stuff is not mixed up good there yet. So we're going to leave that down there. We're going to drop her down and we're going to start it back up again. And now we're going to add our second egg in. That's 2 large eggs at room temperature. And while we got that going, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. We're going to scrape our bowl one more time, just to be sure. Yeah, she's coming together good there. Now what we're going to do, we're going to put this on low. And here we have a 1/2 cup of milk. That's whole milk, a 1/2 cup. And we're going to bring our flour back over in our flour mixture that we made up there a minute ago. And we're going to dump about 1/3 of our flour mixture in there. And to that, we're going to add about 1/2 of our milk. Let it mix for a second, and then we're going to dump another 1/3 of our flour in. And the rest of our milk. And then we're going to dump the rest of our flour in. Now that's mainly mixed up there pretty good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just finish it up myself there with the spatula, finish mixing it with my spatula here. We got it combined pretty good there. get all this off my paddle here. Take my paddle off and get all that knocked off of there. Set this off. I'm going to slide this here back over here where it'll be out of our way. And like I said, we're just going to take and sort of mix the rest of it here with our spatula. You don't want to really over mix this. You just want to get it combined good. And down on the bottom there's still some white streaks of flour there. So we want to get it combined good. Now what we got here is we got 2.5 cups of blueberries, but we're reserving 1/2 cup of blueberries there. So what we're going to pour 2 cups of blueberries in our mixture there, and we're just going to fold them around. Get them folded in good. All right, we're gonna get our pan and stuff and get our topping back out of the refrigerator, and we'll be back and I'll show you what we're gonna do next. Okay, what we have now, we got an 8x8 baking dish here. We're just gonna spray down with some cooking spray here. Move that out of the way. And we got some parchment paper here. We're just gonna put it in there and sort of let it lay down in there with the sides sticking up on it like that. And what that'll do, that'll make it easier to get out of the pan once we get it baked there. We're just going to dump our blueberry buckle mixture over into here. Now I want to get all that out of there because we don't want to waste any of this. This here, it'll sort of remind you of a coffee cake, but believe me, it's a whole lot easier and quicker to put together than a coffee cake. And good, man, what you talking about? It is some more good. Now what we want to do, we just sort of want to level it off here on the top as best we can and get it all the way over into the corners. Which it'll level some itself in the oven, but we want to try to get it as level as we can. Because remember, we're going to put a topping on it. Now, we're going to take our topping. We're going to squeeze some up, and then we're going to drop some big pieces and some little pieces in there, all over. Just sort of break some of it up into bigger pieces and some into littler pieces. That'll give you some different textures on it whenever it cooks. And yes, we want to use it all. We want to go all the way out to the edge there. We just want to cover the whole thing here with our mixture here. Man, I can't wait to get into this. We're going to set that aside now. Remember that 1/2 cup of blueberries that we had reserved there? We're going to just sort of spread them around on the top here. Got one trying to run off on me there, don't I? You're saying, don't cook me, don't cook me. I'm not ready. But it is ready. We're just going to spread them around sort of like so. No particular order, no particular rhyme or reason. We're going to spread them around. That's what you look like right there. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to put this in the oven. Like I said, 375 degrees. It's going to have to bake for about 50 to 60 minutes until, you know, a toothpick or a skewer stick inside of it in the middle comes out clean. And we'll bring you back at that point. Okay, we got our blueberry buckle out of the oven there. I had to leave. It's been sitting here for a couple hours. I had to leave and just now got back. But this is why I was telling you about putting it on paper there, because that way it makes it real easy to come out of your pan. My buckle, my topping got covered up and swallowed up by some of the dough there. I mean, some of my cake, but it's gonna be good anyway. You know, this is real time cooking here, and so, you know, I mean, if that happens to you, then just you ain't heard anything. So, you know, don't worry about that. It's still gonna be just as good, and it's still gonna taste just as good, and it's still gonna be just as good as it ever was. It's well, just look at that. Look at that. Does that look good or what? I mean, does that look good or what? That is extremely good looking. I can't wait to get into this. But you can see the topping on the top there, and the blueberries around it, how they swirled in and stuff. I mean, that is, yeah, you can see them in there. That is really, really good looking there, and I can't wait to get me a bite of this. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut into it and get us a bite here. Man, that lemon zest brings out them blueberries and just that hint of lemon. I could eat that whole thing right now. Hey, if you would, give the old video a thumbs up. Like, share, comment, subscribe to our channel. We appreciate all of you do. We appreciate all of you that take time out of your day to watch our videos. Blueberry buckle. We'll see you on the next one.